just want you to keep that in mind. This says, and I want everybody to say it after me, f of x, f of x, h of x, g of x. It's just a way of naming a function. That's it. You can have different letters for different functions, and you never, ever, ever, ever split up the f and the x here. They are together. Now what it is it's the same as y equals mx plus b. It's just called function notation, and I'm going to show you what's nice about it in a little bit. So basically, if you wrote this down here, it's basically the same as y. It is the output or the poop. Okay? X goes in, f of x comes out. Remember my fish and all your drawings? X goes in, f of x comes out. Is it funny to see poop written up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep that in mind. It's your output. You do not ever split these up, ever. Okay? Here we go. Let's practice some of this. Now here's what you're going to do. Evaluate each function given. Okay, what's happening here is we have h of x equals negative 7x. And they're telling me that x equals 7. That's the input. That's what's going into the fish's belly. I need to find out what's coming out. So they're giving you the input or the food here. The input is 7. You plug into the function. Input is 7. You plug that into your function, and it looks like this. Have you seen this before? I'm pretty sure you did it last year in pre-algebra. Should have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to plug in 7 wherever x is. H of 7 equals negative 7 times 7. I plugged in 7 wherever x was. Now, don't make it harder than it is. This, you just don't even change that. You leave it. H of 7 equals negative 49. Now, here's the beauty. You're done. That's it. That's it. Do not, please, please, please do not divide by 7. No. You can't do that. Okay? It's telling me, this is what's beautiful about this. This function notation is telling me that 7 went into the function and negative 49 came out. That's the nice thing about function notation. It's like 7 was the food, negative 49 was the poop. That's what it does for me. Okay? Let's try another one. All right, this is telling me I have to do what here? Plug in what? Wherever x is, plug in negative 8. What do I do with this? Nothing. Leave it like it is. And you just do the math here. Negative 16 plus 12 is negative 4. And you're done. What is this telling me? This is telling me that negative 8 went into the function and negative 4 came out. Okay? All right. So you're going to be doing some of this. You're going to be doing some of this. Now this is different. Oh, just a little bit. Find the value of x so that the function has this given value. What they're doing now is they're giving you the output, the poop.
The F.
And you have to figure out what the input was to get that poop. Basically, the 16 is the output. The 16 is the output. It's the y. It's the f of x. So all you do, watch this. This is sometimes confusing to people. All you do is you substitute f of x with 16, the whole thing, because they're giving you the output. They're not giving you the x. And then you solve for x.
Wait, why would you take away the X?
I'm solving for x. It's the output. Remember up here I told you this is the same notation.
Yeah, but
You don't do anything with the x. This is the output. The value of the function is 16.
You said they can't be separated.
I'm not separating them. I'm substituting 16 for the output. F of x is the output.
Oh, the f of x is output like the whole
Together. It does not ever come apart.
The f was just that. Okay.
No, doesn't ever come apart. It's the same thing as y. Okay? So now you divide by -2, and x is -6. Now let me show you how you could formally write this. This is telling me that f of -6 equals what? 16. So it's telling me -6 went into the function and 16 came out. That's what you're doing. So let's do another one. So this is telling me that this is the output. So I'm going to replace g of x, that's my output, with -4. And I got to solve to see what x went in to get -4. So when I do that math, I get a fraction, which is okay. 28 equals 8x. If you divide both sides by 8, you're going to get 28 over 8. And that's okay. It can be reduced to 7 over 2. Now, this is giving me the x, the input. Let's write it in function notation. What was my input? This number right here, 7/2. When that goes into the function, what comes out? -4. That's the nice thing about function notation. All right. Last thing, which is just one more thing we have to do. We got to graph this function. Hey, stay with me. This is it, I promise. Graph this function, but compare it to this one. So we actually have to graph two functions. Okay? This, in your book, is called the parent function. It is the most basic of lines. It's called the parent function. If I think of it like this, y equals x, I just thinking of f of x as y, it's the same thing. And I'm going to make some points here. Stop moving. Everybody stop moving and look. This is not working for me, this row up here. I think we're going to have to make some changes. Okay. If I stick in, I can choose anything for x. If I stick in -1, 0, and 1. If this is saying they're equal, if -1 goes in, what comes out? -1. If 0 goes in, what comes out? 0. And if 1 goes in, what comes out? 1. It's basically a really basic line right here. -1, 0, 0, 1, 1. This is the parent function. So you always have to draw that. And I'm just going to write here, f of x equals x. That's the parent function. Now I've got to graph this one, and then I'm going to compare the two after I graph it. Hey, what kind of equation is this? You did it yesterday. Direct variation. And it goes through where on your 0. So it starts at 0. If you think of it like this, y equals mx plus b. This starts at 0. Then how do I get my second point? Yep, this is -2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Boom. So that's g of x equals -2x. Now, to compare in words, this is all I do. Similarities, they have the same y-intercept. And they have different slopes. That's all you got to do. Same y-intercept, different slopes. This one goes up, this one goes down. Let's do one more and then we'll be done. So you always have to graph the parent function, and it's just real easy. It's just 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. It's just a straight line through those points. There's the parent function. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. And then I graph this. Y equals mx plus b. Where do I start with this line? -3. I start at -3. How do I get my second point? How do I get my second point? Almost done. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Connect them. Okay, what can I say about these two graphs? How are they different? Basic, very basic. Different what?
Different everything.
Two things. What can we say? Two things. Different slope. Thank you very much.
What? And different intercepts.
And a different y-intercept. And that's all you gotta do. How to get the purple one? It's the parent function.
Oh, I saw that.
Always draw the parent function. Hey, if you had to say something similar about these, what would you say?
They both are increasing.
Puff, puff, positive, right? They both go up. They're both lines, yeah.